Yeah, already I have stopped the previous session. Now I'll be continuing the same thing using this particular second session. Okay. Now just see already what we discussed previously. Now, let me just take one spotlight. So this is particular thing what I explained already. So this is basically the PV process or work process where I have what is the work I have to give, it will be shown here. Now already what we discussed here, I told you this is the basic formula what you have to remember for all the problems. Okay. Now, so before going to this particular thing, I'll come to the clearance volume, all those things afterwards. So all these parameters I'll discuss one by one. Okay. Now just yeah, all these are parameters we'll discuss one by one, right? Okay. Now I'll just go for one problem. Now you can understand. Now I hope you are able to see this screen. So this I have already shared the ebook for you. Now this is basically which shows the compressor here, and the classification already I explained for you. Now I'll just take one problem, then we'll see how that particular process. So these are all the things are available. So reciprocating compressors and basic analysis, the same thing what I discussed, right? Right. So isothermal efficiency, isothermal work by actual work. Now this is what formula work of compression. So whenever it's a polytropic process, n by n minus 1. Now P1 V1, P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. So this is basically your process. Okay, the same thing I have shown in the box here. Now instead of P1 V1, sometimes there won't be any pressure, there won't be volume in the problem, but still I can solve the problem. N will be given and P1 initial pressure, P2 final pressure will be given and temperature is given. Then also I can find out the work because P1 V1 equal to MR P1. This is by gas equation. This is by gas equation because air is nothing but a fluid, ideal fluid. So this is the ideal gas equation, right? So I can go for WC or n by n minus 1 MR into T2 minus T1. So how I got this formula here. So I have shown one relation for you, that's a T2 by T1 equal to P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus n by n. That formula I have shown in that. So if you replace this P2 B1 by means of a T2 by T1, then finally I'll get an equation like this. Okay. Suppose in case of a compression, this is very important. Now you see here what I have shown. There are three formulae. So if this is particular box what I have shown here, this is whenever the process is polytropic, because N is polytropic index. Suppose if the compressor or a compression happens as isothermal, then what is the equation for me? P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. It's not P1 V2, it's a P2 V2. So obviously, what is the final relation for work done whenever the process is isothermal is like this. Just see here. So what I have shown, I'll just highlight it once again so you can understand it better. So just I'll take one thing you can understand better. Yeah. Now see, so this is the basic equation just shown here by blue color. So that's called particular equation which shows you the work done whenever the isothermal process, that is a P1 V1 ln of R, where R is called as V1 by V2. This is called as the volume of compression. That is R is called as compression compressed volume or because you are taking volume at V1, you are compressing it to V2. So that's V1 by V2. I can replace this V1 V2 by P1 P2 also using the equation P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. Okay, like now if the process of compression is adiabatic, then you have a formula that is gamma by gamma minus 1 is equals to mr T2 minus T1, where gamma by gamma, so gamma is called as adiabatic index. Okay, right? Now isothermal efficiency. Now you take actual process always as polytropic process. Then whenever if I say isothermal efficiency, the numerator must be like a whatever the work it's happening, that is isothermal work or adiabatic work. If it's take adiabatic work in the top numerator here, then it's called as adiabatic efficiency. If I take isothermal work at the top, it's called as isothermal efficiency. But what is the denominator here? It remains same, that is polytropic process work done already what you have seen. Okay, right. Now straight away I'll take a problem. Okay, I'll take a problem to understand. So I'll just go for a problem here, so you can easily understand what exactly I have discussed here. Okay, so the remaining I'll come maybe I'll take for the next class. So I'll just take a problem now. So whatever we have discussed up to now, you can easily find it out. If I solve a problem, then you understand, yeah, oh, this is exactly what will happen in the practical situation. Okay, so just give me some time. I'll just going to the problem. So because I have taken this PDF to explain the problem, because already it's shared with you. Now you can also refer the for problems this particular textbook here, what I have shared. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So this is the first problem what I am going to discuss here. Now all of you just go through the problem. So a reciprocating air compressor has a cylinder with 24 centimeters bore. So obviously it's like a rice engine. So you have a piston diameter as 24 centimeters, 36 centimeters stroke. Obviously TDC, BDC. So one particular movement will perform one stroke. So compressor admits air at 1 bar 17 degrees centigrade. So you are taking air at lower pressure from atmosphere, that is from 1 bar 17 degrees centigrade. So it becomes P1 and T1 and compresses it up to 6 bar. So that's nothing but your P2. The final pressure what I required is nothing but P2, P2, right? Now compressor runs at 120 RPM. The speed of the compressor running is 120. Now consider compressor to be single acting, single stage. Determine what is mean effective pressure. That's the first parameter I had to find out. The second one is how much is the power required to run the compressor. So I have to give power now. So that's how much is required to run the compressor. And when it follows one isothermal process and polytropic process with an index of 1.3. Also find isothermal efficiency when compression is polytropic and adiabatic. So whenever polytropic process is there, adiabatic process is there, then what is the isothermal efficiency? Now actual work, the first case isothermal efficiency means isothermal power by polytropic work, and isothermal efficiency whenever actual work if you take adiabatic, then it's called as isothermal efficiency by means of adiabatic process, right? So just let me just clarify this thing here. Yeah. Now compression ratio, because I am taking air from one bar pressure and compressing it to the 6 bar pressure. So it's called as R. 6 is the compression ratio. Now, as usual, the cylinder dimensions. So the swept volume I have to find out. There's a pi by 4 d square L. So d is given as 24 centimeters, convert into meters as 0.4 and 36 centimeters as 0.36. Now, what is the swept volume? The volume actually taken or swept from the cylinder is 0.016828 meter cube. Now, suppose I want to take it the volume of air per minute, multiply with the RPM, that is 120 RPM revolutions per minute. And finally, what it says, how much volume of air I am taking per minute now? 1.954 meter cube per minute. So let us neglect clearance volume. I'll tell you what is this. Don't worry about this. Now, the first one, he said that what is isothermal work done. So work isothermal is given by P1 V1 ln R. The R is the compression ratio. That is P2 by P1 R. That's equal to P1 by V2. Both are same. Now, one more formula what is given here is mean effective pressure. So what is mean effective pressure? The mean effective pressure is given by ratio of work done. So I just take one thing here. So what is mean effective pressure here? That is work done by swept volume. So this is called as mean effective pressure. The formula for mean effective pressure is work done by swept volume. Okay. So the same thing. So this is the new formula added for your thing. So one is like a work done, another is the mean effective pressure, right? So you can see here what is mean effective pressure. So work done isothermal process P1 V1 ln R by the swept volume is already taken as V1, that is pi by 4 d square L per minute means 1.954. Okay. Now, whenever it's a polytropic process, I think this already I explained the equation to find out the work. Now, mean effective pressure for the polytropic process, again, it is the ratio of work done. So the complete this work done will be in the numerator divided by V1. V1 is the swept volume. V1 is the swept volume. Okay. So they have shown the thing. Now, if I want to find out first mean effective pressure in polytropic process, now you see this formula, everything is given here, and by V1 I have taken. Okay. Now you see here, N is 1.3 and P1 is 1 bar. I have to convert into kilopascals because I'll be getting the finally, I'll be convert this into what you called as pascals or kilopascals. So I'll get finally the pressure as kilopascals, and 6 is the pressure ratio, 1.3 minus 1 by 1.3 minus 1. So that gives you the mean effective pressure during what you called as a polytropic process as 221.89 kilopascals. Okay. Now this is what will happen, right? So this is the adiabatic process. This is the isothermal process as well as all the things what we discussed. And this is 1 bar to 6 bar pressure. What exactly we're discussing for the problem. And what is the work for adiabatic? So this is the basic formula. Okay. So just note it down here. Work adiabatic is gamma by like n by n minus 1. You have gamma by gamma minus 1, P1, V1, P2, P1 whole power of. Instead of n minus 1 by n, it's a gamma minus 1 by gamma minus 1. So this is the basic process. Again, the mean effective pressure pressure remains same. That is, what is work done by swept volume? What is the work done by volume? Okay. So the same thing I have taken, and the mean effective pressure is shown as 233.98. Now, what is the power required for isothermal process? Power required for isothermal process. Okay. So it's given by how much is the pressure, okay, into volume per minute by. So power is work done per second. The power is work done per second. So volume per P into V is the work, the particular work, right? And why 0.7457 is he asked what is horsepower. So whenever I want to convert the kilowatts into horsepower, or 1 horsepower is 0.7457 kilowatts. So my available thing is kilowatt. So that's why I have divided by 0.7457. And this is pressure, mean effective pressure into volume. Then obviously this particular thing gives you how much is the horsepower that is given by 7.2825 horsepower. Normally it won't be asking horsepower. Normally it will be like a kilowatts. Okay, so this is the horsepower required whenever the process is isothermal, 7.825. Now if I go for polytropic process, the same formula, PV by thing, then it requires 9.69. You see here, isothermal process, the power is 7.825, and the polytropic process is 9.69. Okay, then finally, I'll go for adiabatic thing. So same thing, adiabatic work, if I convert into horsepower, 10.22. So among the three, you can see here, the adiabatic process will take more work, right? So we have found out what is polytropic work. We have found out what is the isothermal work, polytropic work, as well as adiabatic work, mean effective pressure, as well as what is known as power. Particularly horsepower, they asked, which straight away kilowatts, which is nothing but P into V. Whatever the pressure into volume itself, or whatever the work already you got per second, if you keep it, it becomes so many watts or kilowatts. Now, finally, you have three efficiencies. First is isothermal efficiency, that is actual isothermal process by actual power. So whatever the isothermal power, if you divide by actual power, then it's called as isothermal efficiency. Suppose the numerator, if you take isothermal process or isothermal power, our actual power is always, it's like a polytropic power. So the denominator is 9.69 is constant. Now if I take isothermal power, it's called as isothermal efficiency because of polytropic process. It's around 80.75%. Now you have isothermal efficiency adiabatic. The only thing is the numerator changes. Instead of isothermal work, it's gone to the adiabatic work. So the actual work is polytropic work. Still it's not a polytropic. It has to be polytropic. I think something wrong here. So it is like a actual work is now adiabatic process by divided by, here it becomes like a polytropic again. So it has to be 9.69, right? So this about your first model of problem, where I have found out the mean effective pressure for isothermal process, mean effective pressure for polytropic process, as well as horsepower required for polytropic process, isothermal process, as well as adiabatic process, right? Now isothermal efficiency as well as isothermal efficiency because of polytropic process, isothermal efficiency because of adiabatic process already shown. All these things are parameters already what we found out. Okay, so that's about the single first problem. If you have any doubts, just refer the PPT what I have sent and refer the textbook. There may be a little bit mistakes in this particular textbook here. So I'll once again clarify with some more problems, and we'll discuss some more topics maybe in the next class. Okay, so to join for next class, and I'll take the remaining things like what is the clearance volume, what is work if I consider clearance volume, if we won't consider clearance volume. All these three models are problems here. The first single stage compression, they will give a problem, or the problem based on what is with clearance, without clearance, and finally the multi-stage compressor. And theory part will be like your rotary compressors, how it works, how vane compressor work, how screw compressor work, etc. Okay, right? So I'll stop with this session, and we'll take the other topic, or maybe some problems I'll solve in the next class. Okay.